All right, guys. So we kind of wanted to. We all had the idea of basically. I'm going to scoot closer so people can also share. But we all had the idea of kind of doing a little like corner meet and greet. We're just hanging out, having beers. We're up in North Carolina, and we had a couple of friends of ours that submitted, was it 9 questions?
Yep.
Yeah. 9 questions. Kind of like based on like what a YouTube viewer might want to know, slash questions they wanted to ask anyways. So our lovely cameraman Cody is going to ask us behind the camera, and we'll just kind of take them individually. And if you're not super into it, it's fine. Or if you want to go into specific questions, we'll probably edit it to where you can go to specific answers for specific questions. But otherwise, that's how the the scheme of this video is going to be.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little lengthy, but this is just kind of like a one-time thing, just to kind of give everyone like a bit of a background on everything that where we come from, how we got into this, what we're pursuing, stuff like that.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah. Cheers, boys.
To a safe climb tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Safe-ish.
All right, start us off, Cody.
Yep, we'll start from the beginning. So, what got you guys into climbing?
Ooh, I'll take this one. So I've lived in the Midwest and specifically Michigan, and I've done a lot of hiking and stuff like that. So whenever I would hike, I would like just kind of see something random on on the trail and be like, "Oh, that looks cool. I want to climb it." And oftentimes I was wearing hiking boots, or sometimes I was wearing like flip flops or Vans slip-ons, and I would just climb it. And I always kind of figured like after I would do that a couple times, I'm like, man, I should join a climbing gym. And up until last year, I guess about 4 months ago, I've always kind of struggled with weight, and I had a friend of mine that I work with, who was the one that convinced me to go and just do it, because he dropped like 40 pounds when he started rock climbing, and yeah, he was the motivation to do it, and started doing it and haven't looked back. It's been super exciting, it's been super fun, but yeah, that's how I got into it. Who wants to take next?
Yeah. I like being outside. Big perk to me. I like being active. Had some decent injuries in my life. Knees are slightly concerning. So running, going to the gym, doing anything like truly high impact, not the best option. So climbing, something that I've always been interested in anyway, because tall things, I want to get to the top of them. It seemed right. And then Josh hit me up and let me know that Florida had climbing gyms, and here we are.
Right. Yeah, I've always been into physical activities and stuff, but this was kind of like a whole nother level for me. Something very not completely brand new, as far as like it's brand new doing it on another level, but I got into it because Josh asked me if I wanted to just check it out one day, and I was like, yeah, sure. Now, I mean, I've climbed like a rock wall like at a fair, where it's just a bunch of jugs and it's very easy for kids and stuff like that. That was just for the experience. And I've hiked in Colorado. I hiked Horsetooth Mountain, and I always thought in my mind, wouldn't it be fun to take a trail that was just off the normal path? And that kind of intrigued me. So when Josh asked me about getting into it, I was like, hell yeah, let's do it. I'm ready. So yeah, that's how I got into it.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
What would you consider your strengths and weaknesses, and how would you like to improve on your weaknesses?
I think Harry should handle that one.
As far as climbing goes, it's going to be, for me, my biggest weaknesses right now are going to be the pinch holds. Pinching is very difficult for me. I hold a lot of stick equipment in my business, weed eaters, string trimmers, edgers, whatever, and so I've got a little bit more strength and calluses and stuff, but jugs and little small holds are usually an issue. But the pinching is something that I've got to work on. That's my biggest weakness.
You gotta get a lot of good grip strength.
Yeah, more
It's the
grip.
difference between putting fingers to thumb. That's
Right.
your problem, I think.
Yeah. So I got to start holding plates again. I used to do that a lot, but I didn't know it was going to be rock climbing years later. So yeah, it's bringing it all back. It's going to be fun. As far as my strength, though, I think for me, because I've been physically active my whole life, in and out of sports and many other adventures, I would believe that it's my mobility and flexibility on the wall itself. I'm able to do. I'm acquiring skills in the technical area that feels kind of natural. I pick it up pretty easily, so I would say that that's my biggest strength.
Start with weakness. Weakness. Get excited easily. I see something that looks cool, a cool wall, and I'm like, hey, I want to climb that, and I don't map the route, I don't plan for the route, and I just climb it. Also, I would say another weakness would be the round, big holds that are like you're just pressured down to stay on it.
Slopers.
Yeah, like melons or whatever.
Mhm.
Those suck. So, those just suck. Strengths. I would say I have a decent upper body strength for my weight, but also flexibility. I'm very flexible. I can reach far with my legs to be able to balance myself, to grip.
As long as your knees allow.
Yeah, as long as my knees are like feeling good that day.
Fair.
We
Yeah.
should bring some 10W40.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I'm the Tin Man now.
Yeah. Cool. So weakness. I tend to make something that I'm learning about myself now is I tend to make a lot of excuses. One of the things that I always fall back on is if I fall off a boulder or something like that, it's always about my weight. It's always, I'm a big guy, and if it's specifically on overhang, if it's on overhang, I don't ever think about what else could be causing me to fall off. I always just go, oh, it's my weight. I'm too heavy. Gravity is just working against me. So I'm making a lot of excuses instead of looking at the problem and being like, is there something else I could be doing because of my weight that could be doing something better? That's probably a weakness. Strengths, though, I think whenever I find something that I really like dive into, like really fall in love with, as far as like a hobby or something like that is concerned, I tend to like really, really deep dive into it. And you can ask these guys. I've probably watched hundreds of hours of YouTube on climbing tutorials and all this other stuff. I've annoyed the crap out of Ben on the wall because, like he said, he gets really excited and he clambers up the wall, and I'm sitting there giving him pointers as he's in the middle of his climb. But yeah, it's like one of the things that I like the most is just like analyzing the thing that I really, really care about, to the point that I'm hopefully once I get there, I'm doing everything the right way. So
Just to kind of side bag off of that, is like you actually help us improve too because of the love. And like I still don't know a lot of the lingo that goes in the climbing world. I'm still learning it. This man knows like almost all of it. So I'm like, huh? What the hell
What
is
I
that?
ask-
I
what
don't
I
know
ask
what
you
that
to-
is.
what I ask you to pogo, you're
Yeah,
like,
what's
what?
a pogo?
Bro, like the climbing language as a new guy
Yeah,
is
it's
so stupid.
pretty daunting.
Yeah,
Like-
it's a new process.
Why can't we just say what it is? We
Yeah.
have to give it a new name.
No, we don't like us climbers. We don't like calling it jumping. It's dinos.
Just jump for it. Just send it. Just send it.
Just send it.
But-
Is that email?
It's just a concussion. Just a concussion.
But yeah, no. So that's probably my weaknesses and my strengths.
Have you developed any warm-up routines, and how do you go about your recovery process?
Oh, that's you, Ben.
I'm old. Let's just start with that.
You'd also say we're old.
My body is a little beat up.
Not
a
as
little beat up.
old.
Just a heads up to any of the young people out there, when they say take care of your body, they're not joking. Yeah. What you do when you're young sucks when you're old. So warm up routine for me is I have to get my blood flowing to kind of warm up my muscles, but really I stretch like way more than I should need to. um, Post climbing, I'm sore. Same day, kind of like forearms are sore or hands are sore from like gripping holds. Second day, say like my back's sore. Um, Third day, and my knee is like cantaloupe bruised, just beat up. So my routine there is just
Ice and heat.
Li-
And heat.
live with it.
Ibuprofen.
Yeah,
Remind
Ice and
myself
heat.
that it sucks to be me.
yeah, isolating. Yeah, you got to swap between ice and heat. Ice and heat. That works the best. But you know your body better than anyone else. So
I mean, I know how to neglect it.
That's very
I have a
true.
whole childhood of it. Experience.
Right.
You want
But
it?
yeah.
Take it.
So as far as
Good beer. It's delicious.
it's delicious. It's that sour monkey. So as far as warm up routines, I am notoriously bad because I get really stoked when I walk into the gym, or for this situation we're going to be walking outside for the first time. I don't know if you guys as viewers have, know that, but as we have, all of us have only been climbing for about 4 months. We've never had an opportunity to go outside, and we are climbing at Rumbling Bald, North Carolina for the first time. And so and that's like, as this video is being recorded, that's tomorrow morning, and I'm so stoked.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
So like I'm already anticipating not warming up tomorrow because of how stoked I'm gonna be. But so yeah, a lot of problems happens when I get to the gym and all I want to do is climb. But I do like some small stuff, like I'll like your typical, like what you think of in like gym PE kind of warm up. So you know, stretch the arm across the chest, a little bit of behind the back, you know, and a little bit of windmills, you know, a little bit of high kicks, stuff like that. I don't warm up excessively. I tend to do a lot of warm ups on the wall. So like I'll do like V0s, V1s, and I'll do a lot of drills that I've seen that are really useful, the I call them the holdovers, where you go to a hold and you hover over it for about 2 or 3 seconds, and then you grab the hold. Just it teaches intention, like that kind of thing, and then it also kind of stretches your muscles
I
out.
love those. Those are good stuff.
Yeah. As far as recovery, I used to go to the gym a lot, and I never got sore except for on leg day. The first time I ever went climbing was the sorest I've ever been in my entire life.
In the weirdest fucking, weirdest place.
Yeah. Hands down, just the like sorest I've ever been. And it was in muscles I'd never used before. And as it's gone by now, I don't really get sore anymore. Like I get pump like in the gym. And my forearms get like super, like, you know, my forearms and my wrists get really sore. But I don't really get sore anywhere else anymore. Before Harry goes on, though, I do want to ask, because this question or like what Ben said reminded me of something. What is the weirdest places that you guys have found sore after climbing?
My ass.
You you actually have said that your butt was sore.
I have never, in my several years of lifting, wrestling, pole vaulting, all kinds of stupid stuff, never had a sore ass.
More squats.
But
More squats.
my God, did sitting hurt?
Yeah. What about you, Harry?
Weirdest place?
Yeah.
I've trained the entire body. I used to be a personal trainer, all that stuff. Are you done?
No, I was just handing it to you so you could say.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was the top of my feet.
Top of the feet.
I've never,
Yeah.
never in my life. I mean, I've ice skated before. I've rollerbladed before. I can't roller skate.
I have
but never had sore feet.
I have never been sore right here. I don't know what it is. Like
ankle flexion.
Yeah, I don't know. It's got to be the point, because like the point, you're putting so much positive pressure on the toe itself.
Mm-hmm.
and then it's forcing pressure up here. I guess I don't know, but yeah,
Yeah, it's
that was just like a little side caveat thing. 'Cause, yeah,
it's
Never gotten
that
sore
was
there.
it's the
Do they,
strangest
do
thing.
they have a name for that? Like
I don't-
ballerina toes or
I
something?
don't know.
I
No
couldn't-
idea.
I can't
Sore
describe
foot?
it. All I know is that every time my foot would go from heel to toe, I would feel it all the way through the
Oh, yeah.
movement, every bit of it.
Or if for some reason I had to go on tippy toe.
God forbid you need to reach something, dude. Tall ass motherfucker.
I'll pass on whatever that soreness is.
All right, here you go.
So for me, my wait, what was the question again? I'm sorry.
Weakness
Warm up,
and strength- or warm-up,
warm up
sorry.
routine, and what was it?
The
again?
warm ups
And then
recovery.
recovery.
How bad
Warm ups
everything
and
hurts
recovery. Okay.
tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh god.
So
everything hurts.
I've got a pretty good backstory. I used to be a personal trainer. Was for a number of years. I did Camp Gladiator. I worked for Retro Fitness. I worked for Bailey's. I've done a lot of personal training. I've been in fitness since I was 25, and then obviously military before that, and then a lot of sports growing up. But for me, it was I've always just kind of been aware of like, okay, I know what muscles I'm going to use. I like to do dynamic movements. Now I kind of go against the grain when it comes to this. I don't really do static stretching before I do any kind of intense exercise or exercise in general. I just use dynamic movements to warm up the tendons, the ligaments, and the muscles to get the blood flowing. And then once I feel loose, I just get into it. I do like to warm up though on the wall and like, V0s, V1s, doing the same thing that Josh was just talking about, the static holds where you hold for about 2 or 3 seconds and then, send the wall. Do a couple of easy climbs, get nice and loose, and then start to slowly attempt anything that might be a little bit above me and my experience and grade. So as far as recovery, I have a couple of options I like to do. I'm kind of a bit of a psycho when it comes to ice baths. I believe it's one of the best recovery methods that you can use as long as you use it wisely.
And the worst
but
possible thing to ever think of.
the stretching, I don't do a lot of static stretching unless I'm doing recovery stretching. So like once I'm sore, I will spend a good to 3 to 5 deep breaths in a deep stretch on each muscle group that is sore, and then I'll go to I have a client that has an ice bath at his house. I need to get one. It's called a cold plunge. It's freaking awesome. And no, this video is not sponsored by Cold Plunge or nothing like that.
Nor is it sponsored by Sierra Nevada
or Sierra Nevada, yeah, or Gold Monkey, or none of that. No. Yeah, ice baths. Just a 5-minute plunge at 52 degrees. Put on your best music, breathe, focus, relax, and it sucks at first, but
try not to die.
It's one hell of a really good process, man. It flushes out all the inflammation. It does really well. Feel brand new almost the next day. So, but yeah, tops of the feet for sure, man. I don't know how I'm not going to sit at home with ice bags on my feet.
Yeah, I don't get it.
And I don't know how I can really stretch those except for putting my foot or leg behind me, and you basically, it's almost like a lunge, but with your feet down. You know, I don't know, but yeah.
Just get a horse trough.
A horse trough. Yeah, I mean,
Fill
I
it with
eat out of a
ice.
horse trough.
Okay. Fill it with ice, water.
Yeah, perfect.
Use your ice plunge.
Lay back.
How are we doing? What's next?
What is your why for climbing?
My why.
Good question. That's a good question.
Why
Yeah.
not?
What's my why for climbing? I think my why is specifically I don't know. When I started climbing, it's one of those things. I don't know if it's ever happened to anybody else, but like you do this thing and then you leave this thing and then you can't stop thinking about it. Like it was literally just like invading my brain. Like I would think about it at work. I would think about it. I was annoying people at work. Like it was something that was constantly on my mind, and I couldn't wait to get back to the gym.
Would it be fair to say that you developed a passion for it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And like to the point, to the point that like when I had all my medical stuff, like I wasn't able to climb for like 3 weeks, and it was like the worst experience because I was physically told that I can't be active, and I was just like, you mean to tell me I can't? Yeah, like so it was something about it just like drew me to it, and I don't know what it is because I actually have a fear of I don't like to call fear of heights. I like to call it fear of falling. But like so I have a pretty relatively large fear of falling. And I don't know if maybe it's tackling that or whatever it is, but like something just keeps bringing me back to the gym. But no, it's just it's like this unknown desire that drives me to go back to the gym. But who else? There you
To me, that question really is, why not? Why not? You're outdoors. You're active.
You're with the homies.
You're getting a workout without knowing you're getting a workout because it's fun.
Yeah.
Also, great scenery, great view, and you get to climb up tall things. Like really, it all just comes down to big rock, find the top.
Yeah.
Right. Why the heck not?
Yeah. I agree.
Also, get to hang out with people
Yeah.
that are all rightish.
Yeah, we're okay.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So for me, there's a couple of really good reasons. My thing is like I have a passion for things that are challenging. I knew that this wasn't going to be an easy journey, and that was, I think, the biggest thing that really propelled me forward into like going head first. I'm also an adrenaline junkie. I climb trees for a living. You know, I run a landscaping business, but the tree jobs that come and go. That's you got equipment and stuff. We're climbing these rocks. We're not using ropes. We're not using cam jams. We got chalk and
That's it.
crash pads. That's it. So for me, I knew that there was a level of adrenaline that I would get from it, and I love that feeling. But the other thing is, I'd like to, if possible, I'd like to. One of my missions in my life, and that's one of the reasons why I became a personal trainer, was I want to aspire to inspire. So I want people to learn that like, hey, like regardless of how old you are, and even in these rock climbing gyms, you're going to see people that are 50 years old, 60 years old, and they're getting it.
I saw a 75-year-old just
That's
the wall.
awesome.
Yeah.
That gives me so much more motivation, and like it reinvigorates me to want to push even harder at my age. I'm only 37. I just turned 37, but it's still like, dang man, if he can do it at his level, how far can I go by the time I get to his level? So like that's one of the things that like really drives me. Also the sense of community. The people in the gyms are so awesome. It's not like your standard meathead cold steel iron gym. Everyone's there to like really help each other. I mean, like, yeah, you got a couple of people in there with egos. Like, I don't go in there with my ego. I go in there with an open mind, ready to climb, ready to learn, and just to have fun and hang out with bros. Like, this is awesome. Some females are there too, and then you can have some fun too.
Yeah. Bros and broettes.
Yeah, bros and broettes. I've never heard that. That's cool. I like that. But yeah.
Cool. Bro, to add on to that, I think there's a second part to it that's also enjoyable is the problem solving, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like finding a route that you can't beat or you can't figure out how the hell you're supposed to get to that next hold.
Yeah,
and then finally getting it done, but also like you're on the wall struggling, and you got to be able to have the state of mind to be able to tackle that challenge while you're suffering, right? You got to break through the shit, I'm about to fall, and still beat it, right?
One of the most beautiful things I've ever heard that came from a professional free soloist, Alex Honnold, for example. I've watched a lot of his videos as I got into it because he was like a big inspiration for me. Like, I'm not going to go and try and free solo El Capitan, okay? I'm not going to do it. My hat goes off to the man. Like, hell yeah, that's awesome. But I will say that he kind of explains it. Well, the way he explained it was that it's about calm tension. And anybody out there who's done yoga or meditation or spent time in isometrics or calisthenics, it's the same thing. And I can kind of see that perspective, especially from like the training mindset. But yeah, calm tension, man, that's exactly what you're kind of explaining.
Like controlled chaos is how I see it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
My mind's racing, but I'm still calm enough to work through it.
Yep.
All right, what you got for us, Cody?
Do you have any goals set you would like to reach by your 1 year mark of climbing?
Ooh.
Somebody else want to tackle this one?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even today, actually, I got a little chunk of that goal accomplished today. So for me, I want to be in the V5. I want to be climbing V4 and V5. Um, I want to be able to flash a V4 and V5. I had quite a few attempts today on a V4. I don't know if I think they had it a V3/V4. That's how they graded it there. And I had a few failed attempts, but again, with the sense of community thing, like I saw another climber send it, and I turned around at the wrong moment because I missed the opportunity to see what he did on the part that I struggled on and how he got past it. And so I asked him, and I felt not compelled, but I felt like I could easily approach someone in the climbing gym and say, "Hey, man, how did you get past that part?" Like, because I know that there's a crux there, and you got the overhang that you're stuck on, and I couldn't figure out how to put my feet where I needed to put them. So yeah, he told me exactly how he did it and how rotation of the hip and bring it in and bring your hip closer to the wall and reach up. And I struggled for a little bit, but I actually finally got it, and that was a V. You call it a V3/V4. I'm going to take it as a V4. It felt like a V4 for me, but it's just one step closer to my goal. And I want to be able to flash a V4 and a V5, no problem. If I can, I believe I can do it. So yeah. So was there a second part to that question?
No,
Just
Okay.
I just want to note that dude was cool as hell. Like,
Oh
Yeah.
the embodiment of what we're talking about of the environment of the gym. Just like,
Yeah. And shout
"Hey,
out
man,
to
let
him.
me let me help you out that, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, it was-
Let
it
give a
was
shout
Reed,
out to
right?
him. His name is Reed, and
Yeah.
he runs a YouTube channel called
Cars
Cars and
and
Condiments.
Condiments.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Cars and Condiments.
he's-
Look him up. We haven't seen it yet. We just got back.
I'll put a
Link in the bio.
yeah. Well, I'll put a link in the description for the
Yeah.
podcast
Yeah.
video.
It was cool,
The
man.
bio description.
I
don't know how
enjoyed it.
this works.
Cool. So my goal at my 1 year mark, I love the challenge of hitting the different grades of the challenging climbs, but really for me, I want to tackle the stamina side of it in my mind, right? So being able to confidently climb on lead for large extensive wall, right? So I don't want to just be able to solve a short problem and drop off the wall. I want to have to solve the problem and then still have the energy to climb the other 100 feet up the wall, right? Something that's I've always liked long running, right? Like cross country was
Yep.
always fun for me. So I just think I'm drawn to
It's
Finding that-
It's funny that we were all cross country runners.
finding that runner's wall, I guess, of climbing and just breaking through it, right? Like that's what I want to hit. But also I feel like if I can feel confident lead climbing, then I've pretty much not tackled it, but for the most part tackled the main piece of bouncing off the ground.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
I don't think
He
we
doesn't have
bounce
a fear
anymore.
of heights or fear of falling. He has a fear of bouncing.
Dude, you don't feel the pain until after you bounce.
You don't feel it until after the recoil.
Yeah.
Yeah, once that adrenaline wears
Once
off.
everything gets squishy.
Oh, the eloquent Ben, ladies and gentlemen. So, what was the question again?
What's your 1 year goal?
1 year goal. 1 year goal for me. So mine's a little bit off kind of topic. Mine's I would like to at my 1 year, which is 8 months from now, I would like to be at my goal weight. I think even though I use it as a crutch and an excuse a lot, I think that if I get down to that goal weight at some point, it's not going to do anything but help my climbing because it's just less weight to carry.
Well, it's also going to help you get past a mental block.
Yeah, that too. I can't use the excuse anymore, and I really have to actually look at my climbing. But aside from that, I'm also with Harry. A lot of people kind of pardon my language, but bitch and moan about the grading system. I really like it personally. I've always liked a kind of calculable, like grading system.
It's
And
a measurable goal.
Exactly. It gives me a point at which I can be like, okay, I've gotten here. Okay, I've gotten here, and I can measure myself against something. So I would like to. Harry's at the point where he wants to flash V4, V5, which I think he can do. By the time we're in 8 months.
I think a couple months you got it.
But I would like to just top V4 V5. I think I'm currently like flashing V2s and topping some V3s. So that's where I'm at right now. Is I want to I haven't topped a V4. I don't even think I pulled on a V4 yet. So I think that's my goal.
Yeah, I mean, like one of the most powerful psychological tricks that you can really do to yourself is to keep your don't if you set the bar way too high, you mess yourself up. You start to lose motivation. You get frustrated, things like that. So like I just take it one day at a time. Take it one day at a time and project. Learn how to get better, and then on the side, keep the food clean and do whatever you can to build strength and burn calories. That's it. As long as your energy intake is less than your energy, or as long as your energy output is more than your energy intake, you will lose weight. And you guys can take that to the bank.
To the bank. What you got for me, Cody?
What's your goal with the YouTube channel? Is there a direction you'd like to pursue?
Ooh, I will take this one. So I think everybody will agree here that the idea creatively to create the channel was my idea, and then I kind of like forced them all into it. I wanted the idea of I've gotten a lot of inspiration from a lot of climbing YouTubers, and in my opinion, a lot of the group climbing YouTubers just feels a lot more, I don't know, organic. Like climbing is something that you should do with other people. I don't like the idea. Like, I mean, free solo is a different thing. Like, and like feeling alone in the mountains, is like that's its own separate thing. But like climbing is such, for me, it's such a social activity. I couldn't have imagined wanting to create like a YouTube channel with the goals that I had without these guys. So like that was a portion of it. But the big goal for me is that I really want people to see, like, we're all very similar, as when we've been friends for a long time, but we're all very similar, but we all have our separate little things, like Harry works a ton. He has very little time most of the time to be able to go to the gym. Ben has a family and all this other stuff, and a full-time job. It's really hard for him to get to the gym. Me, with my weight and some of the medical problems I've been having, it's hard for me to get to the gym. These are all things that are obstacles, but we still find a way to get to the gym because we really enjoy it. And I want other people to understand that, like, there could be obstacles that bar you from going and doing the thing that you want to do, whether that be climbing or otherwise. But like, this is full on proof that you can push past those obstacles and go do the thing you want to do.
Find a way.
Yeah, exactly. And whether that be, like I said, whether that be climbing or not climbing, whatever you take from it.
If it's 20 minutes of climbing, 30 minutes of climbing, or just an hour a day or every other day, whatever you got to do, if it's something that you love, you'll pursue it. There's no question there. That goes without question. Yeah, it's just
Ben?
Yeah. Question again?
Goal for the channel.
Goal for the channel? Honestly, as Josh said, he has forced us to do this. I am blinking twice. No, but really,
He doesn't get to eat tonight.
the channel. I put the lotion on my skin.
All right, I'll put the hose away.
No, but really, the channel, cool, fun, all that. I'm not
Against it.
super worried about the channel, to be honest. Yeah, y'all are cool. Don't get me wrong. But this is an opportunity and a excuse for me to hang out with my friends. Really is. Like I said, I like being outside. I get to be outside. I get to hang out with my friends. I get to be challenged. I get to climb big things. And really, I just have fun.
These are all not bad
Yeah.
things.
Yeah. No. I
things.
also I get to be active.
Mm.
Yeah, it's a way for me to work out, get the enjoyment of physical activity without really destroying my lower body, which is my weak point. Yeah, pretty much I just get to hang out with the boys. That's all I care about. Yeah.
What about you, Harry?
For me, I mean, again, I said before, like I've always felt in my life that I should aspire to inspire, and I feel like through YouTube we have the ability to access millions and millions and millions of people, if not billions of people, to grow the community. I I feel like ever since I've got into climbing, maybe it's just my brain being aware of it, or maybe it's just me putting it out in the universe. But that doesn't seem like in Jacksonville, Florida, like it's starting to really grow. It's really growing now, and it's there's only 3 gyms. There's only 3 rock gyms in Jacksonville, and they're very widespread apart. Actually, I'm sorry. There's only 2 rock gyms in Jacksonville, and then the other one's in St. Augustine. So they're all very far apart. And I would love to be able to inspire others to go out there and give it a try and see how you feel. I mean, if high impact exercises are something that your doctor tells you can't do, this is going to be something that's very good for you. There's always a safe way to climb down in an indoor gym. You don't have to jump off the wall and land on the mat. There is a safe way to fall, so learning how to fall is important. But for me, I would say that the goal of the channel is, if we get monetized, that'd be awesome. But it's not, like, for me, it's not. That's not my main goal. I don't even really care about that. I just want to help others get outside, get off the computer, put the phone down, use the technology for what it's there for, and go out there and live. Go out there and get some nature. Go out there and experience the world. Go out there and hang with your friends and
Get some
be
nature in your indoor gym.
Yeah, well, I mean, shoot, if you can, I mean, there's a way to do it. There's a way to do it. I mean, if you got to put freaking thunderstorm music or whatever kind of white static noise, I don't know, something that it just brings you out of your normal. It changes your environment. Change your environment. So the
Plus,
one of
the
the
positive vibe at most gyms just will like make your day.
yeah. There's beautiful people there, man. There's a lot of good spirits, a lot of good hearts, and we need that because there's so much negativity in the world. And I think that we want to have, at least on my end, I'd like to have a positive impact on the world before I leave this planet. That's kind of like my thing, right?
Leave the world a better place than you found it.
Hell yeah.
So, is this touching rock instead of touching grass?
Yes.
I love
go outside and touch some rock.
I love what I do for a living.
He
It's
loves
not
grass.
it's not for everybody, but I love trees. I'm not a tree hugger. Well, I guess you would be a tree hugger
You're climbing it.
Because you're climbing it.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
are
so-
literally hugging that tree.
Yeah, they say money doesn't grow on trees. I call BS.
Cody, carry on with this because he's just gonna keep
All right. What's the next one, Cody?
What's your favorite style of climbing you've encountered this far?
I'll say that for me, I like the static and I like the dyno, but for me, more than dyno, it's mostly like just learning the technicalities. I like the difficult movements that you have to be flexible on. Slow, methodical climbing, not fast paced, rushed up the wall. Like I'm not gonna ever try something like a speed climb.
It's crazy how static he climbs on like extreme overhang.
Yeah, I do
Well,
go slow. Yeah.
Yeah, in moments where you probably should be moving pretty dynamically, like it's crazy how slow and controlled you can be when you're on like a 90-degree incline.
Yep. Yep.
I saw it today when you were climbing on that roof section. Like it was
That's an amazing feeling, man. I freaking love it.
absolutely. And gee,
Yeah. So, favorite type of climbing?
scurrying.
I'm chaos. No, I'd say I'm more dynamic than anything. So, dynamic would be my favorite type. Really, it's just the excitement that gets me there, right? Like I want to hit that rock and I want to get up to the top as fast as I can. I'm not like any of those crazy speed climbers that
No.
just like,
Yeah.
I don't even see half of them touch the wall when they're climbing.
Yeah.
They
They
just,
just fly over.
they just levitate to the top. They're like, who can levitate faster?
Yeah.
So I guess dynamic would be my
Dynamic.
favorite type. Yeah.
Yeah.
Take it.
No problem. I think so. I really like the aesthetic of dynamic movement, and dynos and everything that entails, especially on like steep overhang and stuff like that. I can't wait until I get to the point where that's not as difficult for me. because I think it looks really cool and it feels good when you do it. Because there's been a couple times I'm still able to hold down and I catch my feet back on and stuff like that. But
loose is dope.
Cutting loose looks really freaking
Cutting
cool.
loose
I'm
is
just saying. Yeah.
I like it, but it is
Yeah.
hard.
It is rough.
Always
It's
sucks.
definitely not the technically right thing to do.
No.
Right.
But
it's dope as shit.
one of the I see and I hear it all over YouTube, man, and everybody hates on it, but like honestly, slab's really cool. Like I don't know what it is about it, but it's like something it's like this like love-hate relationship because you're grinding the side of your face up against the wall trying to stay as close to the wall as you can, and you have these little like minute technical maneuvers that you're trying to get over, like on a rock over on a knee and stuff like that, so you can like finally reach I don't know. It's really really cool. I really like slab. I'm not doing anything crazy as far as like high grade slab, but like even up to the V2 V3 that I've done on slab, it feels really good.
A good overhang now, man.
Yeah, no, I don't get me wrong. Like I said, it looks real cool when you're like, fuck, and you're
Just the sense of panic of climbing it.
Oh yeah.
When you can't figure out what
I
you're
also
doing.
the one thing
Experience
I
it,
will
yeah.
the one thing I will give you too is like roof and like really really steep overhang. One of the coolest things about it too is finding toe and heel hooks.
Yeah.
Like finding good opportune feet. You guys always hear me whenever you're climbing. I'm like your little cheerleader in the background, and I'm like, find good feet, find good feet, find good feet. Yeah.
It's the best feeling, but also it's the most frustrating when you can't.
Yeah,
find it.
absolutely. Yeah.
You're like, dude, where's this hold?
All right, what you got, Cody?
Do you currently have or plan to incorporate any other training to level up your climbing?
Harry's.
Okay. Okay, so if we went on like a ratio percentage based type thing, I would say like if I had to use that form of measurement, I would say
for your desired.
yeah, I would say it would be 70% climbing and about 30% strength training. Let me try that again. I almost said string trimming. No, yeah, so 70% climbing like all the time as much as I can, but also incorporating a lot of strength training to fix the weaknesses because and especially since we've all been able to identify them, that is something that we should incorporate. I know that I am, so I'll climb for like 2 hours at the gym, and then I'll go over into the gym area and I'll work on the moon board a little bit, not too long because I'm pretty pumped in the forearms and fatigued at that point. I'm running low on energy, but I just try to get everything out of the tank that I can, and then I go home and just smash protein, get as much calories as I can. And that's pretty much it. Yeah. So yeah, there's weight training, there's bands. And if you guys have any questions, man, drop them in the comments. We'll go through those and I will answer them. I am NASM certified. I've got a certification. I can teach you guys legally how to do that, and that's free. I don't charge anybody to do that. So if you've got questions, bring them on. I'll answer them the best that I can, and if I don't, I will do the best that I can. I promise you to point you in the right direction.
Cool.
No. On that note, if you guys have questions for me, I can legally point you to Harry to answer them. No. So what's my training regimen? I like to strengthen my forearms by like typing on keyboards and stuff at work.
I told you you need to like you usually need to work your lats out and just like
I'm gonna develop the
just
first.
stiff arm it.
I'm gonna develop the first resistance keyboard so that it actually strengthens.
The anti-typing keyboard.
But no, I got a pretty full life right now. It gives me a pretty full schedule. So like the majority of work outside of going to climb is work that I'm doing around the house, whether it's physically working on the yard or building the fence or I don't know, hanging drywall, whatever the heck it is that I got to do that day. Other than that, it's just work, climb,
repeat.
yeah, rinse, repeat.
Yeah, you got a son, right? So like, just let him climb up on you
Bro, chasing that boy
and hold him. Just hold him.
it has gotten to that point. He's getting so heavy, man.
Right?
I got biceps from that kid.
So I'm gonna answer this real quick. After years in the gym, I thoroughly hate being in the gym. And I hear this a lot too in a lot of the YouTube channels, a lot of the the best climbers in the world, they do nothing but climb, and that's how they get stronger. And I like that because I like climbing. But I will include that I don't mind doing a training regimen on like say like a kilter board or something like that. Um, but and then maybe doing I was considering doing a fingerboard in the garage just to like strengthen my fingers.
Let's do it.
Yeah, so that's the
Let's
big
freaking
ones.
do it.
What's up, Cody? How many we got left, Cody?
Just one last one.
Oh, one last one. Oh.
Prior to climbing, were you always an athletic person?
I'll take this one. Yep, fairly. Again, I don't know. High school, I played football, and did cross country. Then I got hurt playing football. And when I got hurt playing football, kind of like straight away from I guess team sports and started doing skating. And I met this guy freshman year high school. Um, and then we kind of like he left the school and went to another one, and we lost touch. And then we randomly ran into each other when we were 18 again. Moved in together, and he had started surfing, and he hadn't been surfing before, and so he's the one that taught me how to surf. I still surf. So I surfed for many a year. Um, when I was in the military, I did competitive paintball. Like when I was in and out of the military, I did competitive paintball. And let's see what else.
That's heavy cardio right there.
Yes, it is.
One hell of, I love the adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
Surfing's a good core one.
Yeah,
yeah, it's good.
but yeah, surfing's more for cardio than anything.
Mhm.
If you paddle with Harry.
That's more grounding.
Yeah, that's fair. But and then
Floaties, dude.
yeah, little wing floaties. But and then my wife and I, we play a lot of tennis. That's been fairly recent. I think we've been playing for a year, and that's it's also really good cardio. It's actually a pretty fun game. But yeah, I've been fairly active. That's why a lot of people say I hold my weight well, because I'd like to hope there's at least a little bit of muscle under all this. So.
You got plenty, man.
Yeah. So who wants the next?
Yeah, thank you.
There you
Prior to climbing, I've always been an active dude, like active kid, active teen, active adult,
go. Wrestler,
right?
cross country.
Yeah. So as I said before, just wrestling, football, pole vaulting, some track and field. Yeah, wrestling was pretty much my life since I was in middle school to college, right? Outside of that, like post injuries, and I'll circle back on it. You got nagging injuries, take care of them.
Yeah.
Don't
Yep.
ignore them,
Do not ignore them.
because they will suck when you're 30s.
If you got
Um,
nagging injuries, nag your doctor.
30s, 40s, that just gets worse,
Yes.
man. But no, I've always been active. Always strive to physically do things. Really just be outside. I love being outside, man. I love it. Yeah.
Hey, you want to round this out?
Yeah. I mean, I've pretty much said it all during most of the other questions, but yeah, track, cross country in elementary school, middle school, high school, weightlifting team in high school, military, surfing, skateboarding in high school. Still surfing and still skating. I did have an injury on my elbow, but it took me about 6 weeks to heal. That sucked. I slightly dislocated my elbow and fractured it right there at the base, right in front of the joint. That hurt. But yeah. And then my job also requires me to be extremely physically active. You cannot be a sluggish person in the industry that I work in, and so yeah, I've always been extremely active. So for me, I feel like I'm not trying to toot my own horn here, but you know, it's kind of natural for me to be able to excel well in this, but I still have so much to learn, and that's what's so awesome. And I'm very humble, and I have a lot of humility with that. So I take everything in, and I love it. I freaking love it. So I'm glad to be here with you guys, and I'm glad to have these experiences. I'm so blessed to have friends like y'all, and yeah, yeah, all of us have got physical backgrounds. We also have physical limitations, and as we get older, those will increase. So, take care of yourself and nurture those injuries.
Yeah.
Don't try to rush that stuff because it only gets worse.
Toughing it out is stupid.
Yeah, that's stupid. Don't pull it. Don't pull a John.
It's good
Don't
in the
pull it,
short
John.
term, but in the long term, it's a terrible idea.
But yeah, so I've been active my entire life. So plus the personal training, I got a lot of my clients personal training, just training in the gym, just training myself, and yeah, so it's been pretty natural for me. I just need to get better.
Yeah.
Well, anything else? Is there any other?
That's it.
That's it. Cool.
Well, that was it. I hope you guys at least know us a little bit better.
Yeah.
At least on the climbing side.
Mhm.
Maybe we'll do another video at some point, kind of covering some more like of the other side of the crows.
Yeah.
If you guys have any other questions too, feel free, comment, let us know. We're actively looking at the comments whenever we can. We can either include them into another video or just answer them on the spot if you like. We try to be as open as possible, and just in the spirit of knowing that this channel is supposed to be about good vibes.
Yeah.
So
Hey, we've been around since before the internet came out. So like, if you want to leave negative comments in the feed, that's cool. You do your thing, bro. You ain't gonna affect us.
I get easily
yeah.
offended. Don't do that, please.
Be safe, be
Yeah.
smart, but don't be afraid to try new things, man.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Like, go out there and enjoy your life.
Crush it.
Don't let fear
Carpe diem.
control you.
be safe, be smart, but have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As far as we know, we only live once, so enjoy that shit.
Yeah.
Limitations are made to be broken.
All right,
Yes.
guys. We shall see you guys later. Peace.